I just wanted to do this video really to kind of give you a little bit of insight into how I write my poetry and what I do with my poetry and how I do things. And I know I've been getting lots of messages from you, and it's been great to kind of be connected and get lots of people contacting me. But I know that I can't individually mentor each one of you because it's just impossible to do that much, as I don't have the time. So I wanted to put together some videos, some tips and advice for you poets, because I know that you're intrigued and you're asking lots of questions and you're wanting to know more about how I write. So I would want to give you these few videos. Hopefully they will be quite nice and short and sharp. I'm not brilliant at short and sharp because I am a bit of a rambler. I'm a poet, and naturally I love words, and I do speak quite a lot. I tend to talk quite a lot, so I will try to keep these really short and sharp. I'm looking at the time over there, really trying to keep an eye on things. So, you know, we're not doing too bad at the moment, but yeah, maybe later on it'll get a bit... I'll have to sort that out. So, here's my first rule, and I want to tell you this rule is... It might be a little bit controversial. I don't know, but it's my rule. It's one of my top rules when I'm writing poetry. So I hope you can see it I hope you can see this. Here we go. Don't go by the rules. That's my rule number 1. And if you didn't see it, there you go. No, rule number 1 is don't go by the rules. The reason why I say this rule is important is because I think we sometimes take rules a little bit too seriously, and sometimes what we do is we take things like poetry and we try to make them and put them in a little box and try to make them, oh, you have to do this and you have to do that, and you know, things like that. So I think what is brilliant about things like poetry, music, anything creative really, is that it's unique to the creator and the creative individual. And I think that really sticking to the rules is going to steer you it could steer you in the wrong direction, because knowing the rules is really cool and understanding the rules is great, but if you can play with those rules, if you can kind of bend the rules a little bit, you can form your own style of poetry or your own style of writing. You don't want to be following anybody you know, and doing what has already been done. You want to be kind of creating your own rules when it comes to writing. It is your creation at the end of the day, so be your own rule maker when it comes to particularly poetry, because for poetry, for me, I don't have any rules, you know. I don't have a rule book. I don't have anything that I could say, I know this is a little bit of a twist because this is my number 1 rule. So I don't actually have a rule book. People have been asking me these questions, and I'm not really somebody who has a lot of rules when it comes to things like this. You know, if I'm inspired, I will write. If I'm not inspired, I won't write. If you know, I put something down and I think, oh, I just put maybe a sentence down sometimes, and I might write a little sentence, and then I might just leave it there and not continue to write the poem and kind of come back to it at a later date. I do a lot of that with a lot of my poetry. So I would suggest, you know, think how you can be yourself. Think how you can put you into your poetry, and don't have so many rules about how you want the poetry to be. Sometimes just a sentence can sound beautiful and make people feel something, and sometimes you don't really need to be concerned about that. My poetry, I feel that words are energy and they just come to me, and that's it. I've written a poem, and it tends to take me seconds sometimes to just write it down. Usually it comes to me quicker than I can write it, which is I find quite amazing. So, you know, try not to be too much of a stickler for the rules. Don't sit there with your book and kind of be like, oh, I've got to write this like this and it has to be in this style and all those kinds of things. Ooh, 5 minutes. I have to keep an eye on this. This time is like tick, 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 tick. Yeah, as you can see, I am a rambler. But I would like to give you some advice about poetry. And so, you know, this is my first video. It's my first. I do this. I always do this. This is 11. Must admit, this is 1. And this is my first video. I must admit, it's not my 11th, my first. So, you know, I will try to make them as short and sharp as possible. Ooh, we're coming up to 6 minutes now, and I would just like to say thank you to all my fans, all the people who've been commenting, posting. You know, I write because I love poetry. I'm a fan of poetry. I've always read lots of poetry and I love it. So, you know, it's really lovely to see that you're all enjoying it too. So, yeah, I will keep sharing and posting, and yeah. Thank you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!